The Spanish government stepped up its pressure on Catalan Proindependence parties to pass its budget, but with no offers towards self-determination or the release of jailed leaders. This is very unlikely to happen. Hello, and welcome to Catalan News. Neither Catalonia nor Spain has a budget passed for 2019, and they're both making efforts to gain support, but it won't be easy for either of them. Today, in the wake of the far-right breakthrough in institutional Spanish politics, left-wingers in Madrid called on Catalan pro-independence parties to join forces.
The Spanish government is ramping up the pressure on the Catalan pro-independence parties to help it pass the 2019 budget. Their votes are crucial for the spending plan to be successful, but they're still very far from being granted.
Que per participar d'algun tipus de garantia d'estabilitat del govern de l'Estat cal que s'abordin els problemes de fons.
For the Catalan vice president, the main issues include the Spanish constitution being called into question, Catalonia's referendum, and the jailed and exiled leaders. But accepting any of the main demands of the pro-independence parties is out of the question for the government in Madrid. Nevertheless, Pedro Sanchez's executive has called on them to reconsider their position and think more about people's everyday lives. This is just about the same message from Pablo Iglesias today, as the leader of left-wing Podemos supports the spending plan. Yet while the pro-independence party stonewall the Spanish executive's budget, they themselves are in dire need of support to pass their own budget in Catalonia. And the socialists don't look anywhere near to backing it after their first meeting.
Estem en un govern totalment dividit, que no té cap proposta de reforma fiscal i que no ens diuen exactament quines són les xifres del pressupost.
So far, the Catalan allies of Podemos are the only ones open to passing the Catalan budget. But at the same time, they want support for the one in Barcelona. One of their leaders, Ada Colau, is mayor of the Catalan capital. So all three budgets could be passed, all of them could be unsuccessful, or some could pass but not others. The next local election is in May, and the Catalan government has ruled out a fresh election. But a new round of voting in Spain draws closer as time goes by.
The only upcoming elections that are certain are those on a European and a local level, and in Barcelona, parties are revving their engines. The city's mayor, Ada Colau, will run for re-election, as she announced today. She's to take part in a fierce battle against the former Catalan foreign minister, Ernest Maragall, who is with the pro-independence Esquerra party, and against the former French Prime Minister Manuel Valls, an independent candidate supported by unionist Ciudadans. Recently, this party didn't discount a possible agreement with the far right in Andalusia, and Valls, in turn, warned them he wouldn't stand for such concessions. Meanwhile, 4 pro-independence leaders continue their hunger strike, now on day 5. One of them, today in an interview, said that he feels like he's floating and that he could feel worse. They're denouncing the Constitutional Court not taking a decision on their appeals. Until it does, they won't be able to take their case to international justice. The Constitutional Court is expected to hear their appeals in January. Meanwhile, Spain's Supreme Court has confirmed that Manuel Marchena will be the top judge of the independence trial, despite the prosecuted individual's calls to push him aside. Now, in business and science news, investment in Catalan biotech startups has tripled, reaching over 300 million euros, according to a new report released today.
Among Catalonia's strengths, startups and the health and life sciences sector stand out, and the intersection of the two attracted 340 million euros of investment between 2015 and 2017. This, according to the BioCat report, the most important on the sector in Catalonia. BioCat officials highlighted this at a conference also attended by the Catalan president. As per startups, they said, Catalonia can be compared to Sweden, Belgium or Denmark. The report also stated that a new startup in the medical and life science sector opens every week, reaching over 1,000 at the end of last year. And while startups may be well known, here things are about to change for the better.
Estem deixant de ser un país de startups, de companyies que comencen. Evidentment són necessàries i ens estem convertint en un país de scale-ups.
A scale-up is defined as a company with a return of at least 20% in the last 3 years, with a minimum of 10 employees. In short, it's a company that's growing. In all, Catalonia's biotechnology sector generates some 31 billion euros every year, accounting for some 7.2% of the country's GDP, while at the same time employing 223,000 people, or 7% of the country's workforce. There are also exciting projects underway in the biotech sector in Catalonia. This includes work on 18 new medications, 11 more than in 2013. 3 are even in the later stages of development, and by 2025, predictions say there will be at least 10 new products on the market to have been developed in Catalonia.
Now, time for culture. The Temporada Alta Performing Arts Festival will host a very special play, starting on Saturday. Some 80 16-year-olds will perform in a play they wrote themselves. It all revolves around multiculturalism at school. This will be held in Salt, outside Girona, in one of the towns in the area with a higher rate of migrants. This Saturday will be a very crucial day for these teenagers, so may they all break a leg.
Espero que és un dia molt gran, és una estrena d'una obra, mai hem estrenat per algú molt important i que l'escenari, o sigui, el teatre estarà molt ple, és un dia molt gran, s'ha de celebrar això.
And last but not least for today, the fair on nativity scenes held every 2 years in Vilanova i la Geltrú, a coastal town south of Barcelona, is already on. You'll find such religious displays in most Christmas markets across the country. Have a look at footage for holidays by the beach, and see you on Friday, after tomorrow's bank holiday.